Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cuddly caterpillars. With this pattern, you can make the caterpillars as long or as short as you want. I like making them with 4 body segments, but you can add more if you wish. The stitches you need to know for this tutorial are single crochet, as well as a magic ring, and then also an increase and an invisible decrease, and you will also need to know how to do a color change. For these caterpillars, I use a super chunky microfiber or plush yarn. I use this baby Snuggle, and I'll list some similar yarns in the description. Other items you will need are 9mm safety eyes. You can use larger or smaller if you wish. A USG or 4.25mm crochet hook. A yarn needle. I like a bent tip yarn needle as it's easier with Amigurumi. And scissors, and you will also need polyfill. Before we start, you will need to plan out your colors. I like choosing 4 or 5 colors depending on the size I'm making. First, we will start with the body. I will be starting with beige yarn because that is the color I want at the back of the body, but you can also start with the color you want at the front because the body is symmetrical front to back. For round 1, we do 6 single crochet in a magic ring. Pull the magic ring tight. And then I like to use stitch markers at the end of each round to help me keep track. In round 2, we do 6 increases. An increase is 2 single crochet within the same stitch, and we do that 6 times for a total of 12 stitches. For round 3, we are going to do a single crochet, then an increase, and we repeat that 6 times for a total of 18 stitches. In round 4, it's 2 single crochet, then an increase. We do that 6 times to total 24 stitches. In round 5, we 3 single crochet, then increase, and we repeat that 6 times to give you 30 stitches. Now we are done with increasing for this segment. So for the next 4 rounds, so rounds 6 to 9, we just do 30 single crochet all around. And I'm going to be doing this off camera. After your 4 rounds of 30 stitches, we are going to start decreasing. And I like to do the invisible decrease, like so. It can be tricky getting in the loops with this yarn, but sometimes you just have to wiggle the hook a little bit. So for round 10, it's 3 single crochet, then decrease, and we do that 6 times to bring you down to 24 stitches. In round 11, we are continuing to decrease. So it's 2 single crochet, then decrease. We do that 6 times for a total of 18 stitches. In round 12, it's a single crochet, then a decrease. We repeat that 6 times to bring you to 12 stitches for the round. At this point, we are going to do our color change. So I'm actually going to do that halfway through the previous stitch. And I'm going to cut the yarn and bring in my next color. So the second color I want for the body is this mustard. And I'm just going to do the color change. And then I'm just going to work over those tails with 1 or 2 stitches just to secure them in before I stuff. I prefer to do the color change before I stuff each segment, as I find it easier to do a color change without the piece stuffed, but if you prefer, you can stuff a segment first and then do the color change. So now that my color change is secured, I'm just going to stuff that first segment. For each of the body segments, we will be renaming the rounds back to round 1. So we've already done 2 stitches to secure the yarn tails from the color change. So just keep that in mind. And for round 1, it's a single crochet, then an increase, and then we do that 6 times to total 18 stitches. In round 2, it's 2 single crochet, then an increase, and we do that 6 times to bring you to 24 stitches. For the rest of the body, we will be using written instructions on screen, because each of the segments is exactly the same. So you will be doing the same pattern repeatedly. So I've already done round 1 and 2 on camera, and rounds 3 to 10 will be as per these instructions. Now I have completed the second segment with this mustard yarn. The next color I will be using is this emerald green. So I'm just going to do a color change to that. And once again, I'm going to secure the yarn tails with 2 stitches. Now we can stuff that second segment. After the second segment is stuffed, we will continue crocheting the third segment. Once again, keep in mind that we have already done 2 stitches in round 1 because we crocheted over those yarn tails. After the third segment is completed, I will be doing a color change to the blue yarn. Once again, for the next segment, the instructions will just be on screen. This will be the last segment in this caterpillar because I am only doing 4 body segments, but you can do more if you wish. So at this point, I'm going to stuff the last segment. And then I will continue to crochet the last row. So the last row will just be 6 invisible decreases. And that should bring you down to 6 stitches in the last round. After the last round, we can cut the yarn, making sure there's a bit of a tail for sewing, and then pull the tail through. Now we are going to sew the hole closed. So there are 6 stitches in the last round, and we will be going with the needle through the top loops of each of them from the middle. After you have gone through all 6 stitches, you can pull the tail tight, and that should close the hole. Then you can just insert the needle in the center and pull the yarn through to a few places on the body just to secure it. Now you can cut the yarn and the body is completed. Next, we are going to start crocheting the head, and I'm going to do the head in this beige color. In round 1, we do 6 single crochet in a magic ring. In round 2, it's 6 increases, which brings you to 12 stitches for the round. In round 3, it's a single crochet, then an increase, and we do that 6 times to get 18 stitches. In round 4, it's 2 single crochet, then increase, and we do that 6 times to get 24 stitches. In round 5, it's 3 single crochet, then increase, and we do that 6 times to get 30 stitches. In round 6, it's our last round of increases, and that's 4 single crochet, then increase. We do that 6 times, which brings you to 36 stitches. For the next 5 rounds, rounds 7 to 11, it's just 36 single crochet all around, and I'm going to do this off camera. After round 11, we are going to attach the eyes. So the eyes are attached between rounds 9 and 10, and they will be 8 stitches apart. So between 9 and 10, that's this round here. And after inserting the first eye, we count 8 stitches across and insert the second eye here. I'm going to attach the backs of the safety eyes off camera. After the eyes are securely attached, we will continue crocheting. At this point, we will be decreasing. So for round 12, it's 4 single crochet, then a decrease, and we do that 6 times to total 30 stitches. In round 13, it's 3 single crochet, then decrease, and we do that 6 times to get 24. In round 14, it's 2 single crochet, then decrease, and we do that 6 times to get 18. Round 15 is the last round of the head. We do a single crochet, then a decrease, and we do that 6 times to get a total of 12 stitches. After this, we can remove the stitch marker and close with a slip stitch. And then we can cut the yarn, leaving quite a long tail because we're going to sew this onto the body later. At this point, we can stuff the head. I like to stuff the head quite firmly because this helps stop it from wobbling on the body. After the head is stuffed, it should look like this. And I'm going to put this aside to sew on later. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of this tutorial. The link to part 2 will be in the description box. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give a thumbs up and subscribe.